Good morning, welcome to the channel. Have you ever noticed that there just doesn't seem to be enough hours in the day these days? I remember when I was a kid, days seemed to last forever. You know, you'd get up in the morning, you go out, go round to your friend, knock on his door, coming out to play. You'd be out and it would be hours and hours and hours of fun and doing stuff and walking around the streets and playing footy and curbsy, and in the evening a bit of knockdown ginger didn't hurt anyone. Go over the forest and climb trees and do all sorts of stuff. But a day seemed to last for hours and hours and hours. I've noticed recently that days they're just flying by. And I'm not getting anything done. Well, I am getting things done, that's a lie. But not as much as I would have thought. You know, I was up early this morning and, I was awake at 6. I was a bit lazy this morning. I didn't get up till 6:30. Had a coffee, had a look at my list of jobs to do today. Started tidying up the kitchen, washed up from last night, put all that away. Had another sweep round because I've been working in the kitchen the last day or so. So there was a bit of dust, so I've swept that around. This morning I'd lost some keys. Actually, last week I lost some keys, and miraculously today, there they were. I just found them. So I thought I'd move some cars around. So I went to get another set of keys for the second car. I couldn't find them, so God knows where they went. So I wasted a bit of time doing that, I know. But then I tidied up my utility room. Needed sorting out because where I've been working, tools were all getting in a jumble and stuff was getting messy and things were being moved and not put back. So I've tidied that up. And I've just sat down with a cup of tea. And I've noticed the time. Nearly half the day's gone already. And what have I done? I've washed up from last night. I've swept the kitchen floor. And I've tidied the utility room. Now, this isn't a big utility room. It's, there's a washing machine in there. There's a space for a tumble dryer, but I've not put it in yet. And there's some shelves and another work surface at 90 degrees to that. So I've got all my cleaning stuff, all my cleaning materials and stuff like that on shelves in front, above the washing machine and tumble dryer area. And then to the side, there's another work surface about 5 foot long, and there's space underneath it for bits and pieces, and then there's 2 shelves above it for boxes of screws and spare light bulbs, all that sort of stuff. And I've tidied that up. And that's all I've done all morning. And that's from 7 o'clock. That's 4 hours, 4.5 hours, almost 5 hours. And that's all I've done. Where does the time go? I've got work out here to do today. I wanted to trim the grass. I've still got to move the cars, which I'm going to do next because I've found the keys. And while I've found them, I'm going to get all that sorted out because I need to make some space at the front here so that I can fix the brakes on a car. At the moment, there's just too many cars here. There's 3 cars parked over there. There's a Renault Clio, Mercedes 180, and an old Skoda, which is the one that I really wanted to move. And I've got to bring a Scenic round to the front to do the brakes. So I've got to shift the cars about. So I'm going to get that done. Once that's done, that's done. That's the job finished. Then I've got rubbish in the kitchen to clean. I've got various other things to do. I want to sweep right the way through the house today if I can. And the whole day's going to be gone. And I wouldn't have done any work. I wouldn't have achieved anything apart from cleaning up. there's a load of logs over there I want to cut. They're too long at the moment. They're 1 metre long. They need to be half a metre. I want to get all them cut, because then when I've finished the cupboard in the kitchen, I can start stacking them under there. That will tidy up this area out here. Time just goes too quick. And that brings me on to another thing. Have you noticed how we live in an instant world these days? If I go on the internet and I click on a page, I'm after some information, I click on a page. If that page hasn't come up within like half a second, I'm thumping the work surface. Come on, what's taking the time? Why haven't I got this information yet? Whatever happened to the days where years ago, if you wanted that information, you had to find a book, work your way through the book, try and find that information in an encyclopedia. If you had the book, if you didn't, it was down to the library, or, you just didn't have the resources we've got today. And we used to be patient enough to wait that day to get to the library, or till we got home, or whatever. Nowadays, it's instant. It's like messaging people. If I send a message to somebody and they don't respond to it or open it straight away, I start thinking, where are they? What are they doing? Why haven't they answered my message? Why haven't they looked at my message yet? Why haven't they responded? Years ago, if I wanted to send somebody a message, I either had to walk to the hall, to the telephone, dial the number, which was one of those things. Yeah, I'm sure you all remember those. Wait for them to answer. If they didn't answer, chances are back in the day they didn't have an answer phone, so you couldn't leave them a message, you couldn't send them a text, you just had to wait, and then you had to call them again later, and hopefully they would be there and they would answer. Or if it wasn't a telephone call and you wanted to send somebody a message, or give somebody some information, you had to go find a piece of paper and a pen, sit down, write it all out, then find an envelope, stick it in an envelope, go to the post office, buy yourself a stamp, stick it on a stamp, stick it in a post box, then wait a day or so for it to arrive. And even then you don't know if it's arrived. You don't know if they've read it. You don't know what their response is, because if they're going to respond to it, they've then got to find a pen, find some paper, find an envelope, write it all out, go to the post office, buy a stamp, etc., etc., etc. So I could send somebody a letter. Let's just say it takes 2 days. It takes a day, the day that I write it, then I put it in the post. It takes a day to get there. By the time they've read it, it's 3 days. By the time they respond, if you count the 3 days, it could be 6 to 7 days before I get my response. Maybe longer. In business, insurance and stuff like that, these days you just text the company, blah, 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 send them a text or an email. They respond within the hour. Back in the day, you'd write them a letter telling them you wanted to cancel your insurance. You didn't know for 2 weeks whether you were still insured or whether you'd cancelled it or not. This instant world, I'm not so sure it's good. It's making us impatient. We want results straight away. We put demands on the service industry to be too quick. We want a job done at home. If we need a builder or a specialist to come in, we want them to do it now. We want it done straight away. We're not going to wait for them to finish their other jobs. They've got to come and do it now. We go to a shop and we order some goods. We want them delivered straight away. We want 24-hour delivery. We want that delivery next day. We want it straight away. It can't be good for us. It can't be good for our health, our lifestyles. Things come to you when they come to you. I'm getting more and more patient these days, so I'm not in such a hurry to get stuff. I'm not in a hurry to get places. I don't drive too fast these days. I mean, I can if I want to. But I don't see the point in stressing myself out and pumping up my blood pressure. I just don't see the point. Why would I want to stress myself over getting somewhere within 30 minutes when I could just take it easy, take it steady, get there in 40 minutes. What difference is that 10 minutes going to make? You know, I know the client's going to be pretty much pissed off that I'm not there bang on 8 o'clock or say I'll get there at 10 past or quarter past. What difference does it make? I'm here, now I'll get on with my day. I'm more relaxed, so I'll work more efficiently. If I get there and I'm stressed, I'm not going to be thinking straight. I'm not going to be producing the work at such a good quality. You know, it's all relative. There's only so many hours in the day. You can only get so much done within that time. And you've got to appreciate the fact that things take time. And I think we've got to appreciate the fact that we shouldn't expect an instant response from everybody every time we contact them. We shouldn't expect somebody to reply to our text instantly. You know, let them sit down and read it, maybe have a coffee, think about what their answer's going to be, then reply to you with a, you know, a more accurate response. You see these crazy texts on the internet, don't you, where people say something and then somebody reacts and they get it all wrong because they've misread what somebody said or they've misunderstood what somebody meant. They've not read right into the full context of the message or the email or the text or whatever it is. Life's become so complicated because everybody wants everything done so quickly. A friend of mine said to me the other day he wants a simple life, and I'm the same. I want a simple life, and I'm starting to get to the point where I've decided that I'm not rushing around anymore. I'm not tearing around with my arse on fire for people. You know, I'm pretty much an early bird anyway, so I'm generally at work at a good time. I'll do what I consider to be a good day's work, and then I'll leave. If that's 3 o'clock, that's 3 o'clock. If it's 5 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock. But I know what I want to do in a day. That's what I do. And if people don't like it, then they can get somebody else to do it. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I bring to the table when I'm working. So I don't see why I should rush. I don't see why I should run around, you know, pushing my blood pressure up when I can just chill and take it steady. You know, I've got so many jobs I've got to do here at the house since I've got back in here because it's been empty for 5 years. There's just so much to do. The garden, the vegetable garden, the orchard, the pond, the grass itself. I mean, I don't know if you can see up there how much has got to be done, and all this here's got to be tidied up and cleaned up where I had a fire the other day. You know, it's a mess. Look, you know, it needs proper tidying up, and that's outside. Inside, every room needs some work. It needs to be decorated and spruced up a little bit and brightened up. There's so many bulbs that need to be changed because they've blown. I've got to make a list of those and get that done. You know, there's furniture to make. I'm going to be making all my own furniture. It just works out better that way. I get what I want, and it will look right. And I'm not going to rush. I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to plod on. I'm going to do what I want to do each day. I'll make a list of jobs and I tick them off as I go. I don't necessarily finish that list in a day, but I can walk to it, look at what jobs are on there and go, all right, I've got an hour. I can get that done in an hour, and then I'll do that particular job. I can't see the point of rushing around anymore. I'm too old for all that. If I was 22 maybe, but I'm not. Yeah, that's it. Not much, really. Not much to rant about. I just think this instant world, this is going to pull us all down sooner or later. Anyway, I hope everybody's okay. Chill out, don't rush. It's Father's Day today, apparently. I just heard, or just read. So happy Father's Day to me, and hope everybody's well, and I'll see everybody again soon.